Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff White Fitness Solutions. Thanks for checking out this video. And here is yet another story that is not being discussed in mainstream media that we need to be aware of. And you can read the title, and it says it all. Iran, Russia, China to run war drills in Latin America. How many people knew that this was going on? So let me read a little bit of the story. It says Iran, Russia, and China are gearing up to run a series of major drills in Latin America in a show of force meant to signal how these militaries can reach the United States. Venezuela, under the leadership of anti-US socialist President Nicolas Maduro, is scheduled to host the war games in mid-August. How does that make you feel? That should concern you, to know that this is going on. And it's almost like a sign of blatant disrespect. And again, this isn't talked about in mainstream media at all. Hey, what's up, everybody? So now let's look at this a little different. We have the BRICS nations, which are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And we also have Iran and Argentina who may be joining, and Saudi Arabia was invited to join as well. But what's going on is these BRICS nations will be working together to conduct trade. And we're talking billions and billions of dollars of trade outside of the US dollar and the US monetary system. This is huge because if they do this, then that means there will be less demand for the dollar worldwide. Less demand for the dollar means the purchasing power of the dollar will decrease, which will cause prices to increase. This is a very big story. And now, when you look at them doing military exercises in Venezuela, this is a blatant sign that they are not afraid of the US anymore, and they are going ahead with their plans, almost daring the US to say something or do something. And again, this isn't talked about in mainstream media, but this is something we must be aware of because this is a huge, huge story. Okay, guys, I'm going to flip it on you right now. A lot of people may be thinking we got to do something about it. This isn't right. This is wrong. This is dangerous. Well, let's keep it in perspective. The U.S. has military bases all over the world. And one reason we had the conflict with Russia is Russia was saying they did not want NATO so close to their borders. So let's just call it like it is. If you have a major problem with China, Iran, and Russia having military exercises in Venezuela, then you should understand why Russia has a problem with NATO so close to their borders. We got to remember something, guys. Now, everyone likes the United States. That's just how it is. We have to look at it from other perspectives also. This is, again, a sign that not everyone likes the United States. And we have to accept that as fact. The media shields us from a lot of things that goes on around the world, but unfortunately, these countries are saying enough is enough, and we're going to do what we want to do, whether you like it or not. So here's something else I want you to seriously think about as well. The U.S. has built more military bases than any other nation around the world. Now, while the U.S. was building these bases, China was doing something else. They were creating the Belt and Road Initiative, or the China's New Silk Road. And this involved billions of dollars worth of projects in more than 100 countries. Now, these projects included land corridors for transporting goods, maritime corridors, railroad lines, and Chinese ports. Now, mind you, the Silk Road Initiative does have some controversy involved with it. But ask yourself, which would be more beneficial going forward, military bases or the Belt Road Initiative? This is going to be very important, I think, going forward as we look at the U.S. economy, and the U.S. standing around the world. The world is changing right before our eyes, but unfortunately, mainstream media is not talking about any of these things. So it's important that you are proactive and pay attention to what's going on. So here's some things that we all can start doing today. Stock up on food and supplies now. You got to remember something. We get a lot of our goods from China. If we have some type of conflict with China, they could very easily stop exporting products to us. Then what will we do? We will be stuck. Next, plant a garden. Start planting some type of food. If you live in an apartment, you can do that. Anything that you can grow, that you can eat, is better than nothing. Next, stock up on gold and silver. Gold and silver are real money, and gold has been bought by countries and central banks around the world by the ton. If they're buying it, you need to start buying it too. Next, stay up on current events because, again, mainstream media is not talking about this stuff, but we need to know. And last but certainly not least, have a strategy, have a plan of action if something happens. You want to be able to take care of yourself. Do not rely on the government to help you because they may not be here to help you when you need them most.